No evil man can win, no way. Look, we're going in a Haiti. Don't even think for a second like Jah hate we. But when Jah rat, him do it greatly. Good suffer for the bad down to the baby. Nah. Enough wickedness in the world. Them darken the future for the boys and the girls. But remember this, you can't replace love with diamonds and pearls. So let peace reign for all mankind. We tired of the war and crime. Just like how God shine, the sunshine show love all the time. So let peace reign for all mankind. We tired of the war and crime. Show love all the time. Too much evil in a mankind. Youths hungry, some are orphan. No for them no have no parents fi call on. Little youth we ever skill go do a job, collect him money, next thing him get killed. World power eagle, dragon and bear. For the judgment them better prepare. It hard for trust people. Them last days ya look out for no fever. Yeah. Let peace reign for all mankind. Man tired of the war and crime. Just like how God shine, the sunshine show love all the time, not only sometime. Yeah. Let peace and love be.
This is the main ingredient, baby, on EMS Radio.
You could feel. Youths never you lose your way.
Let peace reign.
I wanna see a brighter day. I wanna see a better way. Yeah, a better way. And me say let peace reign for all mankind. Man tired of the war and crime. Just like how God shine, the sunshine show love all the time, not only sometime. Yeah, peace reign for all mankind. We tired of the war and crime. Give thanks for the air, the rain, the sunshine. Do good all the time, not only sometime. So let peace reign for all mankind. We tired of the war and crime. Just like how God shine, the sunshine show love all the time. So let peace reign for all mankind. We tired of the war and crime. Show love all the time. Too much evil in a mankind.
Peace reign for all mankind. Show love all the time, not only sometime. Let peace reign. Let peace reign for all mankind. Let peace reign.
This is the main ingredient, baby, on EMS Radio.
News on the hour on MS Radio.
Good morning. 2 minutes after 11 on the 27th of April, Freedom Day. Here is your final news update from me. Their strategy is that I must be portrayed as corrupt, says Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo. ICASA's new regulations to govern data usage. Minister Shabangu suspends social grants tender process. Government to step in and deal with Northwest crisis, says Communications Minister Nomvula Mokonyane. Petrol price to jump 49 cents a litre. Despite 59 billion rand claim, Christo Vista says he wants Steinhoff to survive. Comedian Bill Cosby convicted of sexual assault in retrial. Good morning. Comedian Bill Cosby was convicted yesterday on all 3 counts of drugging and molesting a one-time friend in 2004. A decisive victory for prosecutors in one of the first celebrity sexual assault trials of the #MeToo era. Cosby, who is now 80, best known as the lovable father from the 1980s TV hit show The Cosbys, faces up to 10 years in prison for each of the 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault of Andrea Costent, who is now 45. Cosby looked down with a sad expression when the Pennsylvania jury's verdict was read. Lily Bernard, one of his many accusers, began sobbing. Costent sat stone-faced outside the courtroom. 2 other Cosby accusers were seen hugging, crying, and clapping. District Attorney Kevin Steele asked the judge to have Cosby taken into custody immediately, saying he was a flight risk in part because he owned a plane. "He doesn't have a plane, you asshole," Cosby responded. Former Steinhoff chairperson Christo Visser says despite what has happened at the furniture retailer, he is willing to work with other claimants, shareholders, to ensure that the company remains sustainable. This is despite the company in the Titan Group under Visser now looking to recover 59 billion rand from Steinhoff. Visser says he was misinformed while Steinhoff chairperson and wants to recover investments made in 2015 and 2016. He stepped down as the chairperson last year after a criminal investigation was launched. Visser says that despite the 59 billion rand claim, he would still like to see Steinhoff International survive. The Energy Department has announced that the fuel price is set to rise by 49 cents and diesel will cost between 58 and 59 cents a litre from 2nd May. The wholesale price of illuminating paraffin will rise by 69 cents a litre, while the retail price of LPG will increase by 70 cents a kilogram. The Department of Energy made the announcement yesterday. The Energy Department, Robert Marquez, said petrol, both grades, will increase by 49 cents a litre, diesel will increase by 58 and 59 cents a litre, and paraffin will increase by 52 cents a litre at wholesale level, and LPG gas will increase by 70 cents per kilogram. And the main reason for this increase is the weakening rand. The government is stepping into deal with the crisis in the Northwest. And Communications Minister Nomvula Mokonyane says Cabinet has decided to invoke Section 100 of 1B of the Constitution. This allows for national government to take over to ensure stability and service delivery when a province proves incapable of doing so. Northwest has been gripped by violent protests, with residents calling for Premier Supra Mahumapilo's removal, while health services have ground to a standstill. Cabinet has approved the invoking Section 101 of B of the Constitution of the South African Republic of 1996 to address the apparent crisis, particularly in the health sector. Minister Susan Shabangu has suspended a tender for a new contractor to disperse social grants in cash. The move could once again scupper a plan to phase out controversial service provider CPS by September court's deadline. Shabangu has filed an affidavit with the Crown Court informing it of her decision. It emerged in Parliament recently that security company G4S is challenging the accuracy of tender documents. More than 2 million recipients rely on cash payments, particularly in rural areas. The tender bid for a service provider to make cash payments closed on 12th March, and Parliament's Social Development Committee was informed that the evaluation process was underway. Now Shabangu has put a stop to the adjudication process, saying in court papers that this decision of the instruction of Treasury, it says the evaluation process should not continue until the first phase has been renewed. Shabangu says the arguments raised by G4S are compelling and cannot be overlooked. Communications Minister Nomvula Mokonyane says Cabinet has noted the decision. We are aware of what the Minister has done, has acted on. We will, as the Interministerial Committee, be reflecting on this, and a comment will come after an urgent meeting is due to be held, or was due to be held yesterday afternoon, to discuss the implications of the decision. The Independent Communications Authority of South Africa, ICASA, has announced regulations to govern the rules on mobile data expiry and out-of-bundle billing. This follows March's public hearing on the new rules. This includes a requirement that service providers ensure consumers don't lose unused data and that customers receive notification when their usage is at 50%. Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo has reiterated that he believes that he's being targeted after he called for a probe into irregularities and allegations of corruption in the provincial government even before his tenure. Calls for Mahumapelo to step down or be removed as premier have sparked violent protests that have so far left 3 people dead. Ladies and gents, time now is 9 minutes after 11. We're in the final hour of the main ingredient.
This is the main ingredient, baby, on MS Radio.
Somebody on their way. Hold up, I would've grown all day. Hold up, somebody can't relate.
Black Panther.
Stay down with no faking. Go up, top down, I've been racing. Go up, she wild, I'm in dangerous. Go up, my crowd in rotation. Yeah. Are you on 10 yet? Are you on 10 yet? Wait, are you on 10 yet? Are you on 10 yet? I live on 10. Wait, are you on 10 yet?
Instant entertainment.
Are you on 10 yet?
Master place up, 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 master place up. This is the main ingredient, baby, on MS Radio.
Hey, to every top celebrity, hey, hey, to every big time star, hey, hey, say we no rock, we no play, hey, hey, every day.
Say, whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. No, whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity. Whoa, whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. Whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity. The only stars I know of exist in the sky, and people tryna be like them don't coincide with reality, cause it's a mere fallacy. Needed to be done away with and set free, cause if it doesn't, it'll only carry on, and a lot of people coming up will make it prolonged and not realize that they got it all wrong. Until it's too late and the fame is long gone. So whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. No, whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity.
That's why me say, no for them I want like them or something. But when you check it out, them on or nothing, it not gonna work. I better if you come back down to earth. You're acting like a jerk, claim to be a big timer, but don't know the time. So right now, me take my up and run it down the line. I don't know what's going through the young youth's mind. You're going too fast, press rewind. Tell you about Mr. I-Chess. Piss can make gravy, dance about dance. Oh no, get up in a one. Think him did rich, that's why him just switch. Tune gone number 1, can't do no wrong. Yet the madness is concealed till you get a record deal. Now see it and hold your soul pan a real to real. Feeling like a old pan a promotional tour. Start to feel a lot of malice, so you reach for the chalice, not the chalice of the sun. The one with opium, life of a big shot artist can be full of peer crosses. You see the headless shine, now judge me too hasty. Every day these type of obstacles face me.
Say, whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. No, whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity. Whoa, whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. Whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity. Those who act like big stars make it bad for the rest. To be misjudged and put to the test, and make the people them lose a certain interest of what it really means to be a reggae artist. Responsibility and obligation to your fans, to sign an autograph and take a flick and shake the hand and live up the moment when you're in popular demand, and be a role model as best as you can. So whosoever you are, nobody want like you a superstar. No, whosoever you be, nobody want like you a celebrity.
That's why me say, DJs nowadays
This
them
is
have
the
no
main
selection.
ingredient, baby, on MS Radio.
Every day I drink, and you can mash up thing, burn down sun splash. But when you check it out, them pocket don't have no class. So keep the dancer when it's true microphone chemistry, through time and space, passing through the outer limits. I something only for understand. Make sure you have the most diplomatic game plan. Just keep your destiny inside your own hand. Stay original and use your meditation. But if you want ice up your chest and go on like it is the best, boastiness can put you in a one mess. This year you're on top and then